they can believe what they want to believe, but I'm someone who's going to try and push that glass ceiling. If I have a commitment, I'm going to do 1,000% of the effort that I can. And I don't think they really know that until we have conversations, until we meet, until we go to dinner, until it's like, oh, like she's going to do it. Like, and it's hard because it's the same thing with Spencer, even though at the beginning they might not know his background, right? They don't know what he's done, but he's learned, it's part of his story, he's going to share it, and he's going to break the glass ceiling too. And whether or not, again, coming from an external point of view, if they're going to judge, there's nothing we can do about it, right?
So I might make this up, but I think I saw somewhere like all the boomers are, there's like based like a $500 million or $10 billion of business being sold pretty soon because all these boomers build the business up. The kids don't want to write. So how can y'all take advantage of this, right? How can you take advantage of all these businesses being sold?
Yep. And actually, there's a lot of people. Like, I think we're still at the beginning of the stages where people are learning this and trying to figure out how to capitalize on it, right? And two, really get their foot in the door. Because the biggest thing, I think what people think about first is the money part of it. They're like, oh, that's a lot of money, we got to go for it. But what they don't think about is if that business goes under, not only from a money perspective, because now money's not flowing, it's not flowing to the suppliers, it's not coming from the customers, where is it going to go? Is it going to taxes? Is it going to work? It's not going to jobs. So people think that it's just about capitalizing on the money, but there's a relationship in those businesses, right? You have 10, 20, 30 customers. Those customers need what you're offering. Where do they go? Is there another business for them to go to? If this other business they go to also shuts down, who do they go to? And so they built this legacy, they built these businesses, and if they were all to shut down tomorrow, there's no businesses for people to go to. Like, United States runs on small businesses. We make the majority. The corporate area, they might have a lot of money, but they're still technically minority, like within the business world. So if you can't find a win-win for that owner and taking over their business in an efficient way that makes them happy and makes you happy, those employees, those vendors, those customers, nothing is flowing. And so I think that might be something unique for Spencer and I. There probably are others that are thinking that too. Like, you need people to actually run businesses. And so there's just this whole gap where people just think first money, and then they think, oh, it's going to be easy. I've been doing this for a year. How easy do you think it is? I've acquired one small business, right? And maybe that's my fault too, right? We can pick and choose and get nitty gritty into it, but is it easy? Is it easy to be a real estate agent? Is it easy to be a developer?
I would say no. Has there ever been a time where, like someone wants to sell a business to you, right? And you did the research, you did the due diligence, and you're like, you know what? Hey, Tom Brown, like, I don't want to sell this business, but like, if you leave, this business is gonna fail, right? Like, this business is all you, right? If you know, there's no way this business is not gonna succeed without you, right? Let's like kind of come with a different plan, right?
Yep. There are actually a lot of businesses that are within a range where, and this happens naturally because we as humans we're either super trusting or we're not trusting at all, right? And you'll run into companies where they had enough trust issues where there's no management team because I've been screwed over so much. Fine, that's okay. But now we have to take that as a risk, or we need to figure out a way to value the fact that there's no one that's doing what's in your head. So you'd be surprised how many owners we run into where they just
I can just imagine.
And it's because we've been screwed, right? It's hard to trust people if you've been screwed once or twice because the negatives always overpower the positive, right? Now, then the other half is they were smart enough to at least bring in someone to help support numbers, maybe someone to help sales or marketing, or operations is usually the next one, because owners are the best at selling their own product. When in reality, they're actually the worst because they will take more discounts or more hits just to get the work done. And it's so hard, and it makes sense because the job is here. If we can figure it out, let's do it, right? but it also keeps you stagnant in terms of growth. If you really want to excel your sales side of things, actually give someone the responsibility to manage sales who doesn't have that straight attachment to the business that feels like they can do it the best. Because they'll put barriers. They'll say, sorry, we don't take any contracts that aren't over 1,000. An owner will say, oh, 800, sure.
Yeah.
Right? And now you've lost potentially $200. Now, that might not affect them immediately, but over time, they've probably lost a good amount of business by not keeping to those barriers.
What's something you see like all owners, even if it's successful, like they're doing good, but something you see all owners are getting wrong, like they're like maybe like not a good salesperson, or maybe like trust people too much. Like, what do you see a characteristic that owners are like this, like not good at?
Something they're not good at. Usually the successful ones, and maybe not even just the successful ones, but there are a lot of owners who still like to be cheap when it comes to their business, right? So, oh, it's not worth me to get someone $2,000 a month for marketing. Are you sure? How do you know? Did you weigh the pros and cons? Have you tried it before? Did you actually get return? What are you doing now? Oh, I'm not doing anything. Okay, so maybe having something is more helpful. And it's interesting because it's one of those sayings, I think, where it's like, if you invest in yourself, you'll go further, right? If you invest in your business, you'll go further. But it's really, really hard, I feel like, for successful people to spend money to make money. It's just a hard thing to grasp. And I mean, I still catch myself every day doing it, right? Like, oh, I don't want to spend this much. And you have to go back and be like, okay, maybe I need a second opinion because maybe I do need to spend that on this thing. But you don't know because it's hard.
What's the saying? You got to spend the money to make money, or something like that.
Yeah. It's just, you got to spend money to make money, and it's one of those things too where and I think it's the mentality of startup versus an established business, right? From a startup standpoint, I think an owner's mistake is thinking that they should be able to do everything. Right? I gotta wear all the hats. I gotta make all the decisions.
I mean, you can do everything, but can you do everything well?
Yes, exactly. And then on the established side, it's not that you need to do everything, but usually if they still feel that way, they still won't propel to the next level because they want to make all the decisions. And it's that trusting aspect of like, oh, they're not going to make the right decision, right? Because you haven't invested to train someone to make the decision. If they don't,
is that on you because you didn't train to make decisions, right? You're like, what kind of training process you have?
Yeah, me personally.
I mean, just anyone in general.
Just anyone, yeah. I think that's the problem is, well, and people think, I think with businesses and owners is they think if they train their employees so well that they'll move on, which, I mean, 80% of the time maybe. But if you train them to where they feel like they're valued at that company and that they're part of that family, they will give you 100 times more back, and they will be maybe ripe to be that next CEO. But you won't know unless you actually put in the resources and the investment.
I know you've seen this. This is out like maybe a couple years ago, where the meme was like the CFO and the CEO, hey, you know, Tom Brown wants us to pay for this training, right, to make him better, whatever, right? And the CEO was like, what if you pay the trainer leaves? And the CFO was like, what if you don't, he stays, you know?
Yes, you know? That one's a good saying too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What if you don't, he stays, you know?
Yeah, we got a crap employee. Come on.
Yeah. So I think it's on LinkedIn. I think you did a post. It says, to all transportation and distro partners, anyone have contact in the distribution of vape smoke products looking for a solid product in access the PNW region?
Yes.
What's that about?
So one of the business I was talking about earlier that we did a small acquisition on, that we're minority partners in, is a retail vape shop. They are located in Tukwila. They are Strange Cloud premium vapes. And we are looking for new distributors. Not because we don't have good ones right now, but it's something that's kind of just lacking. They're always late, and we're trying to really revamp the store.
I would argue if they're always late, they're not a good distributor.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
It's one of those things where I think it's like a one-man show distributor, and love one-man shows. Like, I don't know if it's a local or what, and if it's a him problem or where he's getting products from, but it's just not working. So I'm like, hey, community, who do you know? And I actually did do some research, and I found some other ones. So maybe we'll get some hits, or if anybody else knows other distributors. We're always open to recommendations, but that's a small acquisition that we had.
So, how did you like build relationships with all these banks and like credit companies, capital companies, right? 'Cause I'm assuming you buy a company, it's not personal money, right? So, being such a young company, young people, how did you like build relationships, like whatever it is you're getting the funding from to acquire these companies?
Yeah,